And we're back. Welcome to Six of Swords Tarot. Welcome back if you are already a friend and subscriber. Today we are going to finally be going through my entire tarot deck collection. It is, I think I have 26. I'll count them when I start doing them. So the first half of the video, let's get oh gosh, there's even more. All right. So the first half of the video, I'm going to be going through the mass market decks, and then the second half will be my indie decks. I'll put a timestamp to both of those categories below. But yeah, I'm going to be going through each of these decks. I'm not going to do a full flip through. I'm trying to be conscious of time. But yeah, let's jump into it. All right, so I'm going in no particular order. I actually counted all of my decks. I have 25 in total. So the first portion of this is going to be mass market decks. Again, no particular order, just however I'm grabbing them. The first one is Tarot of the Hidden Realm. This is a Llewellyn set. This, for any of you guys who are on my live streams, I use, the thing about my tarot decks is I use all of them. I also love, look how beautiful this strength card is. I use all of them. If I'm not using a deck, I will typically pass it on to someone. But this is very unique. I do like the close-up, like that Three of Wands is just, you understand what's going on. It's definitely a different take on the tarot. Some of the cards, I think some of the majors have been renamed here. We have our Tower, which is the Blasted Birch. I highly recommend this if you are into pagan things. This is a very earth-based deck. There's a lot of Fae energy also in this deck. I love, love, love working with this. Cardstock is great. It shuffles really well. Again, it's that typical Llewellyn cardstock, so if you're into that, you might like this one. Alrighty. Our next one is Tarot of Enchanted Dreams. You guys know, those of you who have been here with me for a while know this is one of my absolute favorite decks. I use it in almost all of my live streams. The interesting thing about this deck is that there aren't any men depicted. I think there's maybe one or two, and they're basically just silhouettes. The kings just have empty chairs, which is kind of, I just really like the take on this deck a lot. I think the artwork is beautiful. It's very colorful. The queens and kings I just love. Here, look, our King of Pentacles, so you can kind of get a flavor for what I am talking about here, but it's absolutely, I think this is a stunner. It's one of my favorites. We have the Magician there, which is also a female, the High Priestess. It's just very beautiful. It is, and all of this artwork is subjective, right? It's all about your personal taste. But personally for me, this is one of my favorites. This is gilded. The gilding, I am an aggressive shuffler. The gilding has chipped a little bit on the corners, not even really much on the sides. So, but I think that's for, look at this queen. She's one of my favorite Queen of Wands. We have our King of Cups, again, another empty chair. So definitely one of my absolute favorites is Tarot of Enchanted Dreams by Yasmin Westwood. I think I have a flip through of that on my channel as well. All right, next up, this is a newer acquisition to me, but I've been using it a ton on my live streams. This is called the Chakra Wisdom Tarot. Now, this is not going to be for everybody. As you can see, all the borders are associated with different chakras. This is not a perfect deck. If you are a studious tarot student, you may question, like myself, you may question why did they associate certain chakras. The cool thing about the world card is that there's this rainbow effect to the border because it's, you know, it's everything, it's all of the chakras. For example, the High Priestess, why is this the solar plexus? One could argue, I mean, the High Priestess is about that, you know, it's about those higher chakras. It's about your crown chakra and having that spiritual wisdom coming down. But the High Priestess probably, maybe you could argue, I mean, you could argue a lot of the chakras, but you could say, oh, you know, she moves from the solar, whatever. I'm not really sure. You know, some of the artwork, I don't necessarily, there's a few cards in here where I kind of question, like, is that really the, how I interpret the meaning? But, you know, I know what the cards are. Regardless, I think this is a really fun deck. I like it. I like to work with chakras. The book that comes in the kit is actually, I think, pretty decently done. But again, is it a perfect deck? No, it is not a perfect deck. But I personally love it. And the backs of this deck are just really fun. So that is the Chakra Wisdom Tarot. Moving on, we have our Druidcraft Tarot. Not my favorite backs, but don't judge a tarot deck by its back because this is one of my favorites. I saw they're doing a re-release of this with more vibrant colors. I actually quite like it the way it is. Most people trim this down. I had planned on trimming the whole thing naked, even trimming the titles off. But the more and more I worked with it, maybe because I'm so used to working with Tarot of Enchanted Dreams, it's because it's so huge. I just kind of grew to bond with this and vibe with it, and I am all about the Druidcraft Tarot, you guys. I use this in my live streams. The blues and purples in this deck and the greens, you can't beat it. I am a fan. I am a fan of this deck. I would recommend this. This deck has been around for a long time. It's been around, I believe it originally came out in the 80s. And, you know, you can grab this on Amazon, or if you like what you see. If you want to see a full flip through of anything that you guys see today that I don't already have, look at that 8 of Cups. I mean, it's just really, really, there's a lot of witchy, pagan-y decks out there that I'm not drawn to. I know I just showed Tarot of the Hidden Realm, but some of the other ones are a little bit too cartoony for me. There's something about the artwork, the detail of the artwork, and the color saturation in this deck that I absolutely love. So that's the Druidcraft Tarot. Whoops, we have a man down, man down. All right. Alrighty, all right guys, who is our next victim? We have, you guys, I just picked this up. This is the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. I love it. It's a Llewellyn deck. It's typical Llewellyn cardstock. It shuffles really well. Maybe unpopular opinion. I like the Llewellyn sets. I like the cardstock. This is just, if you are an Edgar Allan Poe or literature fan, I think Edgar Allan Poe as a person is just, he's lived a crazy, fascinating life. lived rather. There's a lot of blues and purples in this deck. It makes me giggle a bit. Most of the cards, or if not all of them, are based on different stories. And some of the stories were inspired by his real life. So I love this deck. We got our Six of Swords there. The Eight of Pentacles. It's dark, it's moody. If you are into that, you would like this one. Ace is so pretty. And even it's not matte. I do use these on film. I do get a glare from them, not horribly, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, this is the Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, next up we have a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith artwork deck. It is, you guys, this is just a rando generic deck I found on Amazon. The reason I like this is what the box looks like. I think you can still get this on Amazon. I love the artwork of this. It does have borders because there's a sun-kissed quality to the artwork that I really like, which is what drew me to this deck. Out of all, actually, I think I only have, at this point in time, I think I got rid of my other ones. I used to have like the Universal and blah, blah, blah. Some things I had for years that I had given away to other people. But anyway, this is my favorite RWS deck. Definitely probably an unpopular opinion. Yeah, just the artwork is a little bit sun-kissed and I really like it. I really like it. It's kind of got a little bit of a, you guys know what I mean. It looks like the original artwork was just kind of sitting out in the sun for just a little while. So I am a fan of this deck. These are what the backs look like. They're kind of like they're navy and white. This deck shuffles really well. It's a lighter cardstock, which is super easy to shuffle, and I am a fan. I'm a fan. Oops. Man down again. Okay, we're gonna get, you guys, we're gonna get this, hopefully. Hopefully we will get the hang of this by the end. All right, next up we have next up we have the Mystic Mondays. Funny story about this deck. When I first saw this deck, there was some controversy about this too when it first came out. This was not on my radar when it first came out by any stretch of the imagination. I did not like the vibrant colors to this. Every time I saw this at a metaphysical shop or anywhere that I saw this deck, I was so turned off by it. I was so turned off by it. I don't know what year. It's been out for a while. And then something came over me one day. I got it on a whim. And I really like using this for clients. It is a little bit pippy. It does also let your imagination kind of run wild, which is why I really like this. I can't really explain what my aversion was the first time I had laid eyes on this, but all I'm saying is I've gotten over it. Is this one of my favorite decks? No, I think I definitely have to be in a certain mood to use this, but I do use it regularly. Like I said, I use every single deck you're going to see on this table. I don't know a ton about the creator of this. I think that they are a graphic designer. I know that there were some, I don't know. I think there was some drama on Kickstarter. I got this on Amazon within the last year, so I can't speak too much about that, but there's some funny videos about there that like, I hate this deck. But look at this Nine of Pentacles. Like, it's just, it's a unique deck. It's different. It's loud. It's fun. It gives a clear read, in my opinion. And yeah, I'm here for it. Alrighty. The next deck I have is also a very colorful one, and probably one of the more unique decks in my collection. Again, we are still on mass market. This is Tarot of the Kingdoms. Tarot of the Kingdoms is very unique in its art style. It is very colorful. The cardstock is it's matte and cardboardy, which I don't mind at all. I won't do a full flip through, but I want to give you guys a peek as to what you can expect here. So the suits are broken down by the elements. There are a couple extra cards in the deck as well, which I am always a fan of. I like working with tarot and oracle. When I do client readings, I almost always use them together, and so I just leave the extra cards in the deck. I'm usually on board with them. I also usually see walkthroughs of them before I purchase them, so I kind of know what I'm getting into to see if, you know, it's something I want. I love, you guys, the water suit. It's just so beautiful with these little mer people. I'm a mermaid. I'm a merman, Dad. You guys. I think I did that in my last one too, because I have my, I have several mermaid decks. And this is another one with mermaids. So this is a really, really cool one. Very unique, very gentle. This is a gentle read. I also, I mean, do what you want to do. If you're trying to learn traditional tarot, I don't know that I'd recommend this for a beginner. I think this would be really good for path working. But here's another one, Spirit. It's an extra card that was added to the deck. I keep it in there. I read with it. It's just fun. It's just a really fun one. All right. Next up, we have our Santa Muerte Tarot. Oh my goodness. I covet this deck. I do not use this for clients. Very rarely you will see me. I don't know if I've ever used this in a live stream. I use this for ancestral work. I use this for personal mediumship. I wouldn't be opposed to using this. I may have, I don't know. Ugh. But I don't reach for this. This is such a special deck to me for so many reasons. It's absolutely beautiful. The artwork is very unique. There's really nothing else out there quite like this. The 10s are all different kinds of moths. It's a really, really cool deck. I highly, highly recommend if you are interested in this art style. I also really like how the pairs, I won't fish them out right now, but the Emperor and the Empress actually make like a little scene together, which is really cool. So yeah, this is something I use definitely more for personal readings. I may have used it in a pick a card here or there, but yeah, this is more of a personal deck for sure. Okay, back to our traditional RWS style. There's something about these burnt sun-kissed, you guys. We have the Radiant Wise Spirit here. These are what the backs look like. You guys have seen this before a million times on TarotTube. Definitely a bit different. This is borderless than my other RWS. This is very glossy. It is a chunky deck. It's okay to shuffle. You probably want to hand over hand this bad boy. But yeah, do whatever. You can do whatever you like. Yep. So that just happened. Yeah. I like this. I like the color saturation. Like I said, I've had other RWS decks that were just like ancient, and I know some people keep stuff forever. I think when I went through my extreme minimalist phase, I was only allowing myself to have a certain number of decks. So I gave some things I had for a very long time away. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it, because it's something that, you know, happened and it is what it is. Now that I'm allowing myself to acquire more things in my life, I'm just learning how to balance all of that. So, yep. So that is the Radiant Wise Spirit. Wow, I did not anticipate my little cat succulent having any challenges over here. All right, up next, you know it, you love it. It's the Light Seers Tarot, you guys. Funny story about this. This deck is actually damaged. This deck is actually damaged. When the original printing of this was done on, this is a mass market. This is not the indie version of this deck. I wish, it's not. The indie version is edged in, I think, a green teal color. It's super cool. We love this deck. We know this deck. Even though it's damaged, it shuffles. So when I got this, like many of you who probably first got this one, it was like bent in the middle. And so I wrote to Hay House and I said, look, I got a damaged copy. They sent me a new one, but it took a while for the new one to come because they had to reprint them and blah, 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 blah. So I think I have a metaphysical Mother's Day gift guide. I actually talk about this whole thing going down. So I had sitting away on a shelf my fresh, new, unopened copy because I had bonded with this version so much, even though it was damaged. It still called to me. I bonded with this thing. If you guys believe in that, whatever. Some people are like, that's crazy, you're bonding with your deck, whatever. And so I had a friend in mind who I was going to give this deck to, because I was getting another one. I think I knew that they would be interested in this, and I told them about it. They were like, absolutely. So I took the plastic off the new one that they gave me, and I went to shuffle it, and Spirit was like, nope, that's her deck. This is her deck. Your deck is that one. Give her this one. And so this is my still original deck. Thanks, Hay House. Sorry, sorry if that was a bad thing to do, whatever. I mean, it was damaged. I paid for it, so. Anywho, that's the story. And this cardstock, the original cardstock print of this, is actually quite bendy. The new cardstock is much more papery and it's not as easy to shuffle, but it's not damaged. And it's it looks nice. It definitely looks nicer, obviously, than the damaged version, but I also really like the back of these. So that's my story with the Light Seers Tarot. There shouldn't be any more cardstock issues with them anywhere, hopefully. Let me know if you had an issue with that as well. All right. We have several more to go through of our mass market decks here. This is the Tarot Vampires, you guys. I absolutely love this. I am a big fan. This is probably my favorite backing to any tarot deck. It's definitely my favorite back. I now that I'm taking a look at all of these, because I don't think I've never looked at all of my decks on a table like this before, there's definitely a diverse set of cards here. Some are moody and broody, others are super colorful, and just a few are traditional. I'm not a very traditional human being in general, so it's not surprising that most of my decks are not RWS, but hey, that's the beauty of this, you know, this system and this artwork. Look how stunning this horse is. If you are drawn to this deck, I highly recommend it. The guidebook is out of this world. It breaks down astrology in a new way. It is very RWS based. The meanings still hold true to me. Some of the suits, we're almost halfway done, right? The scepters are wands and the knaves are knives here. Skulls are pentacles. And then I think we have grails for cups, yeah. So it's super cool. It's very well done. I love the art style here and my favorite backs. You can't go wrong with Tarot Vampires if you're into that kind of a thing. Now we are going switching directions to a very different vibe. We have the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot. I love this. I took this to the beach. One of my, I did a live stream on the beach and I was doing was it a new moon or full moon? I can't even remember. I took this on the beach thinking, oh yeah, I can do a reading, like no big deal. I'm gonna talk to everybody. Dude, like 3 cards flew down the beach. I had to go chasing after it. Also, this deck has my absolute favorite death card of all time. I would love to get this blown up and framed and put in my tarot studio here. Also, if you want a tour of my tarot studio, my tarot space, creative space, I don't know what you're supposed to call this whole situation, but let me know. It's still a work in progress, like I said. Recovering minimalist, and so it's like I'm struggling with how to have everything, or where I want everything to kind of like land officially, and I may only be in this space for like another year, so anyway, you guys don't care about that. But yeah, this is the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot. I'm a fan. I also love the back of these. We have these beautiful peacocks here. And this is very traditional tarot artwork here. But again, it's not your normal RWS. It's very much so this pre-Raphaelite here, but this angel is a very good example of that kind of art style. I recently pre-ordered the new Baba Studio Victorian Romantic Tarot. This isn't like that really at all, but I don't know why this reminded me of that. But that won't be coming for a while, but that will be an exciting addition. I try to be discerning. Sometimes when you get a deck, you don't always know if you're going to love it. And if you don't, give it to a friend because they may really enjoy it. All right, up next we have Ethereal Visions. I love this. I love to use this for relationship readings. The palette is soft. The backs are also just really beautiful, pastel-y. It's very light, but it really, I think it also packs a punch. Although there's muted tones, you can see what's happening. Some of the characters in these, I think it's the Page of Pentacles bothers me for some reason in this, because they look like they're really sad. There's a few faces, I feel like, in this deck that just look a little bit haunting to me. Like they're not, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think that's just the art style. Look at this beautiful moon here. But yeah, this is the Ethereal Visions. I am a big fan of this. I may have a walkthrough of this on my channel. You can take a pic, and we have our beautiful Lady Justice with a gorgeous owl. All right, we got 2 more mass market. Next up, we have the Gilded Tarot Royale. You guys, I wanted this one. I kind of eyed this. This is when I was still in my I'm only allowed to have so many decks phase. And the colors on this are stunning. It gives a beautiful read. It's very easy to read with, very beginner friendly. I highly recommend this if you're interested in this artwork. This is normally not my kind of vibe. I was attracted though by the background artwork of these. There's a ton of symbolism in this deck. Also very colorful. So when the borderless edition was released, I think in the last year or so, I kind of had this on my wish list. I wanted it, and then I was like, yeah, no. Like, do I need it? No. I mean, do we need any of it? Whatever. And so I didn't really think about it. And then someone did a personal reading for me with the original bordered version of this. And as they were showing me the cards and I was receiving the reading, I looked into the symbolism and I was like, this is powerful. Like, these symbols are powerful for people to Six of Swords, the name of my channel. So yeah, I decided to pick it up. I don't regret it. I use this all the time. We love the Gilded Tarot Royale over here. Big fan. Awesome deck. Cool back as well. Something different. Something a little bit different. All right. Last but certainly not least, you guys, it's the Everyday Witch Tarot. I love this. This is another Llewellyn set. The cardstock shuffles well. This is fun. This deck is relatable to everyday life. This deck was criticized for its lack of diversity, which I believe they improved on that aspect of it in the Everyday Witch Oracle. But yeah, this is a fun one. This is definitely a fun one. What I like to read for clients with this a lot, because you can see the different scenes and the things. I mean, you can in any tarot deck. Some are more realistic and some are more subjective, but I really like the everyday action scenes in this deck for some reason. It is really enjoyable. All right, so that brings us to the end of the mass market decks. My next chapter is indie decks. Welcome to chapter 2. These are my indie decks, starting with the Darkness of Light. This is the 4th edition. I'm a little bit covety with this one. I have used this in live streams. I mostly use this for myself. It's a stunning deck. This is one of my favorite cards, probably because of the pumpkins here in this deck. The color palette is very muted. It's one of my favorites. I do have a flip through of this in an unboxing of this as well. Really, really well done. I particularly love the 4th edition because they went back to the black backing and the black borders, which were on the original version. I'm a fan. Big fan of this. Like I said, I mainly like to use this for personal work. You will see it pop up from here and there if you're on a live stream. This isn't my go-to for a client reading either. I just find it to be, I like this for more self-reflection. The cardstock is wonderful in the 4th edition. I haven't touched any of the other editions in person, so I can't speak to that, but this is a stunner. I don't know if there's any left of these, but if you're attracted to this one, all of his other versions are out of print, I think, at this point, and this one, I haven't really looked into it lately, but this is the Darkness of Light. Absolutely beautiful. Alrighty, our next indie deck is the Star Seeker Tarot. You guys, this is just a beauty. It's matte, it's got that rose petal finish, this stunning purple edging here. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not even gonna say it's not even a pastel color palette, because we have this 3 of Wands is everything to me. I love these darker colors in here with the color palette, the world here. I like the font. There's nothing about this deck I don't like. Again, this is called the Star Seeker Tarot. If you like what you see here, just really stunning. Look at this 6 of Wands here. Love, love, love this deck. This is a really fun one for client readings, and I do use this on my live stream. You guys, we are almost to 500 subscribers. Thanks to everybody who has been hanging out, enjoying my videos. Sometimes I do live streams, sometimes I do we like to get funky and change it up over here, but this is a tarot based channel, so thanks for stopping by and coming back. Alrighty, this is the Star Child Tarot by Danielle Noel. This is the Rose Portal Box Edition. This is, I guess, her re-release of the original artwork. I very recently purchased this thanks to the support on this channel. I covet this deck. So far I've only used it for myself, and I may keep it that way. There are a lot of comparisons between this deck, and there's a walkthrough of this on my channel, and I kind of talk about that. You can't really, if you want to compare the Star Child and the Moon Child, like I said in my video, it's kind of like apples and oranges. Now that I have both of these decks and I work with them, although it is the gorgeous artwork of Danielle Noel, the decks themselves are quite different. So they are on the pricier side because they are indie decks. The boxes are high quality. The cardstock is very high quality. I find the gilding, I know I said I didn't want to compare them, but here I go. I find this is the Moon Child over here, which I'll show next. This is the Star Child. It's a bit more coppery and glittery, where this is more of like an antique-y, but again, they're just totally different decks. I am definitely attracted more to kind of like the Egyptian theme going on in the Moon Child, but I was lusting over the artwork of particularly this version of the Star Child, and I saved up and splurged on this, and I'm really happy that I did. Beautiful chariot. So this one may just be for me, but yeah, look how fun this magician is. Alrighty. And we have the Moon Child Tarot by Danielle Noel. She needs no introduction. You know her, you love her. You guys, I'm a very aggressive shuffler. This is, I wouldn't say my deck is warped. I've bent this just from really rough handling, which I somewhat regret. The color palette here is lighter than the Star Child. Again, it's just a different vibe. You're gonna have different, because it's a different deck. So if you would like to support this channel, please like and subscribe if you're called to. Look how stunning. Look what a stunner of a deck this is. This is so beautiful. When I use this on my live streams, everybody, I think I get more compliments on the artwork of this when I do my readings than any other reading. I mean toward the artwork, not toward me, but I think you guys know what I mean. They like seeing this on camera and on the videos is what I'm saying. So absolutely love this one. Gorgeous Two of Swords. Yeah, these are, you know, your indie decks. You get what you pay for with an indie deck. The back of these have this beautiful texture. The gilding is quite nice on these. I love it. These are another close to the Tarot Vampires. This is probably my second favorite back to a tarot deck. Her artwork, you guys, I mean, round of applause for Danielle Noel. I feel like I wish I could get, I think you can order prints of her artwork, but I would love to get prints of her artwork as well, because it is just stunning. All right, we are Not even halfway through the indie decks. Maybe we're halfway. It's my mini Bohemian Gothic by Baba Studio. This was a splurge. This is out of print, you guys. I really hope that they re-release this. This is a mini deck, so it might be a little hard to see the artwork. I love this blue. It's dark, it's spooky. You guys, Baba Studios is top quality, absolutely beautiful artwork with everything that they put out. I mentioned earlier in this, I pre-ordered the Victorian Romantic. They also have, I'm lusting over, I'd love to get my hands on any version of Bohemian Gothic. Hint, hint, if anyone wants to get rid of their Bohemian Gothic, I will buy it from you. I got this on eBay for my birthday, and which was a while ago. It was a little splurge. It was a decent price, but it was still a lot. Even though it's a mini deck, I do have fun with this. I've used this on a couple live streams actually. It's really fun. It's cute. If they ever do another version of this, I will scoop it up. But yeah, they have a Bohemian Cat Tarot. Like I think they're gonna re-release that in another year or so. And so yeah, this is my only Baba Studios deck so far, but I look forward to getting more from them. Their quality is really, really spectacular. So that is my mini Bohemian Gothic. This is one of my favorite decks that I have, and I also covet this one. I don't use this one a ton because, you know, it's out of print and I don't want to do anything to it. However, I still use it. It's a ton of fun. All right. Our next deck is the deck of Celestials. This is really fun, you guys. This is unique. I have not seen anything else like this. The only thing about this deck is that you can see how microscopic these titles are. Other than that, this is definitely a Pippi kind of deck. This is our strength card here. There aren't any people in this deck. It's mostly, obviously it's made up of these little celestial beings, and we have our swords here, pentacles, cups. It's really cute. It's dreamy. It's celestially. Did I just make up a word? I'm just kidding, you guys. But yeah, I like the backs are moody, which I quite like. I just think it's super cute. I saw this and grabbed it on a whim, and I use this in my live streams actually quite regularly. This deck, there's something about this deck that lets my intuition kind of run wild, which I love. When I can really, really get in the zone and tap into spirit and do an intuitive read for somebody, I love using this deck. And it's just so cute. Super cute. Alrighty. Next up, we have, oh my gosh. Next up, we have, you guys, one of the cutest decks out there, the Mons Tarot. And we have 6 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. How beautiful is that? Oh man, you guys. What a treat this deck is. What a treat. This is a Joanna Nelson deck. I didn't think I would love this. You guys, I fell in love with this. It's so sweet. It's so fun to read with. You get a clear reading out of it. It's not too gentle. You can still get really, really great messages out of this. I absolutely love the Mons Tarot. I'm tempted to get the Whispering Spirits deck, which is somewhat similar to this, but again, different. The Mons Tarot. I've seen tarot oracle read with this, and other people on TarotTube have used this and have really great things to say. This Lovers is too cute. Look how vibrant this Devil card is. It's just so much fun. I'm getting excited, guys. Oh man. I'm trying to keep my energy tame for people who like aren't subscribed and don't know my level of crazy. So yeah, we have, that's a fun 7. I highly recommend Mon's Tarot if you're attracted to this deck. It is a larger size and the back is just really cute and sweet. I'm very pleased with this. The card stock is top-notch, high quality. I use this often. Wow, can I talk? I haven't warped this at all, you guys. I have been more so shuffling, like, I would say my hands are like medium size, I guess. I don't know. But I mostly shuffle like that with larger decks, and I haven't had any issues with warping or anything. So you are aware of that. And we got 2 left. This is the Dame Darcy Mermaid, you guys. This is another one of my favorites. We have the Tower at the bottom of the deck here. Look how vibrant. We'll just talk about the cardstock really quick. It's matte and it's flower petal finish, but it's not hard. They actually slip and move. It's not hard to shuffle like some of, I can't explain it. Some of the other ones out there are that are like, they're so sticky, kind of like the Moonchild. When you first get it, it's like super sticky. Maybe because I've brought this one to the beach and I've used it so much, it's no longer that way, but the backs are super vibrant. It has this antique-y gold, somewhat sparkly, not picking up really on camera, gilding. It's just, we have the Devil and the Tower on the bottom. What are you trying, and Death, what are you trying to say to us? The Dame Darcy, I will tell you guys, this is probably just my personal relationship with this deck. This deck packs a punch. I really like this tattoo style of artwork. Maybe that's the wrong category to put this in, or maybe it's more like comic booky. I don't know. It's all hand drawn. There was controversy about this deck when it was originally released. Feel free to check out my walkthrough video where I talk about that. But yeah, this is the color saturation. This is the latest version of this. I don't know how many versions there are of this, but I've had this for a couple years now. But I'm a big fan, regardless of the controversy. So yeah. Look at that 3 of Swords. Yeah, I mean, this is my truth bomb deck, which I tell people when if someone calls me, like friends or family, and they're like, I need to know, I will pull the Dame Darcy, because this is gonna give you that harsh truth. Not like, you know, other decks won't, but this is an intense deck for me to read with. Maybe it's the water element, I don't know, but it definitely packs a punch. I've scared myself reading with this before. So yeah. We're all tongue-in-cheek over here. It's not that serious, guys. But yeah, 5 of Wands, absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend this. Another one of my favorites for sure in my collection. All right, guys, we have one more. We have one more. I cannot believe I actually made this video, finally. I cannot believe I finally made this. We have made it to the New Babylonian Tarot, you guys. Now that, okay, yes, I still love this deck. I use it a lot. I use it in my live streams. It reads well. I love it. The corners are chipping. Like I said, I am an aggressive shuffler. This is an indie deck. This is one of the more expensive decks, probably because I think it's in Australia and I'm in the US. It had to be shipped here, and that was kind of pricey. So yeah, this was a splurge for, I don't know what I bought it for, some excuse I made to spend a bunch of money on this deck, right? The deck itself is great. You know, gilding is going to chip on a lot of decks, so I don't really want to hate on it for that. Plus, it's also, you know, about personal use. One of my, these are both really good examples. One of my favorite things about this deck in particular, if you look into the background of this artwork, look at the detail in the backings of these cards. It's just absolutely stunning. One of my favorite decks. Again, here's another one where it's just like every little tiny detail. I'm really, really a fan of this one. I haven't seen this a lot on TarotTube. This one isn't very popular, probably maybe because of the price. There were also some errors in the guidebook which came with the deck, or mostly editing errors. I think it's possible, you know, maybe it was like a language barrier kind of thing, which, you know, we get, right? Like that's gonna happen from time to time, but I don't know. The deck was really expensive, but other than that, I don't really touch the guidebook for this, to be honest, anymore. I peeked through it when I first got it, but there was some interesting information. Here's another example of that background. It's just stunning. And this is also an interesting lover's card with 3 people, right? Here's our Queen of Swords. It's just a really, really beautiful deck. It's really shiny gilding. It's still on there. It's just the corners are kind of scuffed at this point. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up my tarot collection for 2021. The only pre-order I have out is that Victorian Romantic, which isn't going to be here for a while, but as of July 2021, this is my deck collection. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. Check me out on Instagram at sixofswords.tarot. I am still offering private readings. You can either email me, reach out to me, and we can book something. I also do live streams if you want to check that out, and I do walkthroughs of tarot decks. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for being here.